His title today is It's All About Heart. I ask you to give a warm welcome to Patrick.
Thank you very much. Music is a form of life where what is usually unseen can become seen. And today I want to show you through the use of music in terms of its subject that it's actually always about the heart. But it actually got split into two different schools over time. So I will also talk about the relationship between the two schools and how they are relating to each other, and they are meant to work together as in harmony. So I hope that you'll be able to bring some of these lessons, and that you'll be able to bring it into your respective field and make a difference with others, especially in terms of clarity with each other. Music is meant to elevate our way of being to a higher level. And even though there is really low level of music and there's very high level of music, we're usually pulled to a level that is just a little bit higher, because there's really thousands of different ways that music can be. And to help distinguish what makes a relevant higher level for us, I thought to look into the two different schools I was talking about. And one of them is where it comes from the heart, where it's usually more simple music, but filled with life. And the other one is filled with theory, and usually more complex, but empty of what the realness that is in the heart. The first time that I encountered this difference was when I was working in a jazz festival, and it became really obvious to me between the difference between two really remarkable musicians, but one that would have a flow and the other one was just empty with the same amount of notes in it. And that's where I saw the difference between knowing the difference between when it had heart and when it didn't, and that if someone didn't know the difference, it was really still impressive to look at, and everybody would clap, no matter if it was full or not. So music is really all about the heart, which means that meaning something beyond the words. And it's not just putting notes together the same way that a language isn't just about putting words together. There's much more to it. And I want to give you guys an example. I don't know how many people know French other than Eric, but if I say something like le jeune homme pomme dans la pluie ouvre tous les jours, caverne pâle sous l'arbre deviendra grand. Some of you might say, I like it, and some of you might say, I don't like it. And if I would have a vote, you might have 40% like it or don't like it. But really the bottom line is that what I just said means absolutely nothing. So the point is that having an opinion on something, if you don't know, is not bad, but it doesn't mean much. And so what does it all mean is that because it's all about the heart, the opinions, they confuse the whole picture. And if most people would talk about what they know, it would clear and reveal the connectedness of a subject instead of confusing everything. Because everybody is looking at making their own puzzle. And so for example, in finance, because I know a lot of people here are into finance, there's one of those places that has so much confusion. Everybody's opinion and bias positions, and it confuses the whole thing, when it's actually not that complicated if it would be just the bare bone of what people know about it. So let's talk about a healthy way to have the combination between the heart and theory together. You see, music is like a fire, and the theory is like the wood. And when you want to start a fire, you want to start with a little piece of theory, a little piece of wood, and that you'll be able to spark. And slowly, with your sensitivity, you want to build slowly. But every time you add theory to it, it's always about the heart. It's not about the wood. If you put a pile of wood all at once, you kill the fire. And the difference between human and nature is that we have the power to illusion ourselves. We can be a walking theory with a tiny little fire that's barely killed, and it really doesn't work. But in nature, what I like is that it reveals what works and what doesn't work. So remember that this split isn't meant to be, that both heart and theory are meant to work in harmony. The same way that in an epic kind of way, they both work to a grand scheme together in what we call a masterpiece. I use the French analogy to show that what we mean is what really matters, not the opinions. And I use the fire analogy to show that theory isn't pretty bad, but it should work intricately together, especially if we strive to make something big and grandiose. But remember that it's always about the heart.